Welcome back to AppGap Cruiser. Today is a gorgeous day to go for a ride in Vermont, so we're going to do that. I'm going to get the bike started up here, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about this Kraus Moto Pro Series Seat that I've been using for a while now. I've been using it all this year, and I feel like I've got enough miles I could give you a good indication of what to expect from this. If you are new to the channel, bike stuttered there for a little bit. I've been having a little bit of trouble with this. This is a new engine build if you're new to the channel. It's a 124 big bore kit from Moto, but it's more than just that. I basically had the whole engine redone. The case was sent out to Dark Horse Crankworks, did a ton of work with that. There's barely anything left as far as Harley parts in this engine. And we've been having some troubles with the tune a little bit. But today's video is going to be about the Kraus Moto Pro Series Seat. Before I looked into buying this seat, I tried to do as much research as I could, and I just couldn't find all that much out there. Kraus Moto is known for their performance motorcycle parts, and they worked with Saddlemen on this seat to get this going. I spoke with the guys at Kraus, and they said that they were looking for a seat just for them. And we're going to give you a little bit of a review on this and how this is for me. I am 5'9", I have about a 31-inch inseam, and I weigh 135 pounds. So if that gives you an idea of kind of the size that I am for this seat, if you're looking at it for yourself. So let's go for a ride and see what it's like. First things that I noticed right away on this seat was, wow, is it firm. I'm not used to such a firm seat. Even the stock seat on Harleys is pretty soft. You know, it's very forgiving. You sink into it immediately. Now, granted, the stock seat, you don't sink that much, but you do sink into it. This seat, you don't feel yourself sink. And there's a reason for that. And at first, I was like, oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna like this. This is very, very stiff. I feel like it's going to be uncomfortable. But now that I've ridden it for a while, it's my favorite seat. I really like it. Now there's some things that you should be looking for if you're interested in this seat. If you're a large person, this seat's not going to fit you very well. And I've had my dad sit on this seat, and he also really likes it. He's maybe an inch or two taller than me, and somewhere around the 200-pound mark. So I'd kind of consider that about a medium average size person. And myself, I'm pretty small, and it works great for both of us. It is not a touring seat. If you're looking for something ultra comfortable, you want to go on a cross-country trip, this is not the seat for you. You're going to be wanting something with a little bit more padding, maybe a backrest, and something definitely a lot more comfortable for a passenger. This seat is very much tailored to me and my riding and this motorcycle. So I am most of the time riding by myself. The passenger seat section on this is usable. My wife has been on it, but it's very, very uncomfortable. And if you go for more than half an hour or something, you're gonna have your passenger screaming at you pretty good. So that is not what this seat is meant for. This is exactly the trouble I was telling you guys about. So I'm just gonna stop and reset this check engine light. Seems like every time I start this bike, within 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes, I get a light, it runs kind of rough, and if I just shut the bike down, reset it, clear the code. Seems to run fine after that. Go. So back to this Kraus Moto seat. I'll show you some of the roads kind of in this area and what type of riding I usually do around here. But this seat is very firm, so it gives you a nice connection to the bike. It makes you feel a little bit more in control. And when you lean or move your body, there's an instant response as far as what the bike does. If you've got a lot of padding underneath you, there's some give and the seat absorbs some of your inputs and there's not as quick of a response. So that's what I found I really like with this. With this bike being more of a performance build, I tend to appreciate the quick responding handling. I've got Olean suspension in this, so everything is performing rather than just made for cruising on the highway for hours. So this seat is nice as far as feeling control. The width of the seat is very narrow, which I love for putting my feet down. And we have a lot of gravel in this area, so a lot of our stop signs, ends of roads and stuff like that, it's really nice to be surely planted on the ground with this bike. So I really appreciate this seat being very narrow. It allows me to clean a little easier, which is an interesting aspect that I did not foresee when I bought this seat. So it really allows you to get to all the areas that are visible, the little plastic covers that are on the side of the bike, as well as those chrome rails that where your suspension and your saddlebags bolt to, and the fender bolts to. That kind of trim piece in there, you're able to clean a lot easier without taking the seat off. So that's been really nice. There's a nice feature too in the center of this seat. It's a cutout channel, and they've said it's for cooling, and it really does work. I didn't think it was going to when I first saw it. I was like, yeah, you're just going to sink into the seat and you're going to seal it. That's not going to give you any kind of airflow. But it really does. It helps give you a little bit of airflow kind of underneath you a little bit, keeps you a little bit cooler, keeps you from just sweating and getting so nasty in this big pillowy seat like many of the touring bikes come with. So that's been super nice. The little bit of a rise that it has in the back of the seat, I feel like provides really good lumbar support. I used to ride with a backrest all the time on my bike. I have a major spinal injury, and it's tough riding on a Harley, even with good suspension for me. I still have to be careful about what roads I go on, and just be careful about how long I ride and how hard I go for. So the little lip that it's got in the back is enough for me to be able to comfortably ride without my backrest, and I'm totally happy. Now this seat does not have a cutout to where you can put a backrest in. It doesn't. You can't use the stock Harley one, and you can't buy one from Kraus. Like to have a backrest, which probably means you're into touring, then this is not the seat for you. But I find that it's enough of back support that I can ride for a good hour or two, and I'm comfortable. I don't have any issues. Seems like it gives good, nice support. And because this seat is so firm, that rise portion that gives you lumbar support doesn't compress over time as you're riding and then give you less support as you go. I find that the moment I sit on this seat to the moment I get off of it, it's providing me the same amount of support and comfort. I really, really enjoy it for that reason. In summary, if you're looking at this seat, I would say ensure a couple of things. You're not looking for a cushy touring seat. You're looking for something a little more performance that may get you better reach to the ground. This seat does move you up and forward a little bit. So depending on what you have for bars, that may help you. Depending on how tall you are, it's different for everybody. But for me, since I'm fairly short, and I was thinking about putting some different bars on this bike anyway to get me more forward, moving the seat forward helped. And even though it moves you up and forward just a little bit, you're able to reach the ground easier than the stock seat. So if you need a little bit more reach, you're not doing too much touring, you're doing a little bit more sporty riding, and you're not too large of a person, this is a great seat. It's one of the best I've tried. I have a previous video, which I will link, that I felt like was the best Harley seat, mainly because it was pretty inexpensive. I had Mean City Cycles do my stock seat, they revamped it, put new foam, and I felt like that foam just didn't hold up. It wasn't providing me the same support as it did when it was new. It was starting to get kind of old, and I could have had it redone by them again, but I already had it done the first time, and then I had them redo it once already. So I didn't really want to send it again. I wanted to try a new one and just kind of see how that worked out. So I took a risk and got a new one. A little bit pricey, but definitely worth it. I will be keeping it. So loving this seat so far. So I'm getting up here towards Sugarbush Ski Resort, and I'm just gonna go for a nice ride here, give you guys some nice scenery, show you some of the cool roads around here that you don't get to see if you're just driving through the main roads. So enjoy the ride with me. This is an awful corner. We're gonna have to get on it just in case somebody comes around. You enjoyed going for a short little ride with me and hearing about how the Kraus Pro Series seat works out. I think it's a great seat. I think they did a really good job with Saddlemen on this. So if it's a good fit for you, I would definitely recommend it.